I'm going to share with you how you can create a powerful self-image, and we're getting started right now. What is up, my winning friend? Welcome back to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to reach your potential, crush your goals, and be more effective in all the different roles that you have, start right now by hitting that round subscribe icon and tap the bell notifications. That way you don't miss anything. If you have any tips on how to create a powerful self-image, we'd like to hear about it, and you can let us know in the comments below. The most important psychological discovery of this century is the discovery of the self-image. Whether we realize it or not, each and every one of us walks around with a mental blueprint or image picture of ourselves. It may be vague or ill-defined to our conscious gaze, or in fact it may not be consciously recognizable at all, but it is there right down to every core detail. This self-image is a conception of the type of person you believe you are. It's built up from our own beliefs of ourselves, and mainly it's been built unconsciously through our past experiences, our failures, our triumphs, our successes, how people reacted to us, especially how they've reacted to us when we were in early childhood. From all of these, we construct a self, or a picture of a self. Once an idea or a belief about ourselves goes into this picture, it becomes true as far as we are concerned. We do not question whether it's valid or not, we just act upon it as if it were true. This self-image becomes a golden key to living a better life because of two very important discoveries. One is because all of your actions, behaviors, and feelings, even your abilities, are always consistent with your self-image. In short, you will always act like the person that you conceive yourself to be. If you see yourself as a winner, you're going to act like a winner, and you're a winner. If you see yourself as a failure, you're going to act like a failure. If you convince yourself that you're a failure type person, you're always going to be a failure type person. If you see yourself that I can't do math, I can't learn math, I'm not a good math student, every time you will fail at math. However you see yourself is how you behave, it's how you act, it controls everything. All of your attitudes, all of your behaviors are in line with your self-image. The person who conceives himself as a victim of injustices, one who is just meant to suffer, will definitely invariably find himself in circumstances to validate his opinion of himself. Number two, the self-image can be changed. Numerous of case studies have shown that one is never too old or too young to change the self-image, thereby start to live a new life. One of the reasons why it may seem so difficult for a person to change his habits, his behaviors, his attitude, his personality, even his own way of life, is because he's working on changing those things instead of working on the core, on his own self-image, on how he views himself. The self-image is the common denominator, the determining factor in all of failures and successes. Write that down. The secret is this: to really live, that is, to find life absolutely satisfying, you must have an adequate and realistic self-image that you can live with. You must find yourself acceptable to you. You must have a wholesome self-esteem. You must have a self that you can trust and believe in. You must have a self that you are not ashamed to be. One that you can feel free to express creatively rather than hide or cover up. You must know yourself, both your strengths and your weaknesses, and be honest with yourself concerning both. Your self-image must be a reasonable approximation of yourself, no more than what you are and no less than what you are. When this self-image is intact and secure, you feel good, and when it is threatened, you feel insecure. When your self-image is adequate and one that you could be wholesomely proud of, you feel self-confident. You feel free to be yourself and to express yourself, and you function at your optimum. And when it is an object of shame, you attempt to hide rather than to express it. The science of cybernetics has furnished us with convincing proof that the so-called subconscious mind is not really a mind at all. It is a goal-striving and servo mechanism consisting of the brain and nervous system, which is controlled and directed by the mind. The most usable concept here is that man does not have two minds, but he has one mind or consciousness that operates an automatic goal-striving machine. This creative mechanism within you is impersonal. It will work automatically and impersonally to achieve the goals of success and happiness, or goals of unhappiness and failure, depending on the goals that you set for it. Present it with success goals and it will act as a success mechanism. Present it with failure goals and it will act just as impersonally and faithfully as a failure mechanism. It is absolutely clear that we all have goals, whether we intentionally articulate these goals or not. The brain and the nervous system are always leading us in the direction of the images that we think about consciously, or the images that are so much a part of us that we're just on autopilot. The alcoholic and the drug addicts have goals just like the entrepreneur, the professional athlete, the politicians, and the mothers-to-be have goals. With this in mind, we can become aware of what's under the hood and whether or not we want the goals that we are unconsciously moving towards or the ones that we consciously choose and work towards. Like any other servo mechanism, it must have a clear-cut goal, objective, or problem to work on. The goals that our creative mechanisms seek to achieve are the mental images or the mental pictures which we create by the use of our own imagination. The key goal image is our self-image. Our self-image prescribes the limits for the accomplishment of any particular goal. It prescribes the area of possibility. Like any other servo mechanism, our creative mechanism works off the information that we feed it, our thoughts, our beliefs, and our interpretations. If we feed information into our creative mechanisms that we are unworthy, undeserving, and inferior, then that data is processed and acted on accordingly. Like any other servo mechanism, our creative mechanism uses stored information or memory in solving current problems or responding to current situations. Use your creative mechanism as a success mechanism, not a failure mechanism. Learn, practice, and experience new habits of thinking, imagining, remembering, and acting in order to 1. Develop an adequate and realistic self-image, and 2. Use your creative mechanism to find success and happiness in the goals that you set for yourself. You could do this by creative mental picturing, creatively experiencing through imagination, and the formation of automatic reaction patterns through acting out and acting as if. You can learn more about paradigms and creating a powerful self-image by checking out this playlist right there. And share this video on Facebook, and if you're part of any personal development group, you can share it with your friends there. And if you want to learn how to reach your potential, crush your goals, and be more effective in all the different roles that you have, start right now by hitting that round subscribe icon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.